Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today's episode is about car insurance in Canada, which is expensive. I have with me the insurance guru, Chrystal Brown. Hey girl.
Hey.
And she's going to help us with all the tips, all the tricks to help you make the most out of your insurance policy. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, when I moved from Jamaica to Canada, I was accustomed to insurance being dirt cheap. The most expensive I'd say my insurance was in the last, let's say, 3 years in Jamaica was probably 65,000 Jamaican for the year. And that would translate to about 500 Canadian. That's what I pay for 2 months. And might I add, because we work in an insurance company, I get a staff discount, and so that's why I have such a good price. But anyway, segueing a little bit from that comparison between Jamaica and Canada, I'll also have you know that Canada has 10 provinces, and it's quite different in how insurance is operated across these provinces. So I'll just have Chrystal just give us a quick synopsis as to the main difference she'd probably say between the provinces.
So there are 3 provinces that are government regulated. So that would be BC, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. All other provinces go by their own rules, regulations. You will find that a lot of companies have different things and you're like, hey, but this company, is different. It differs by province. So if you do need to know more about the province you plan on moving to, you can always reach out to us afterwards and we can fill you in.
We will. So, with that said, you notice though that I mentioned that my insurance would have been even more ridiculous if I didn't work with an insurance company. That's because I'm a newcomer. And by being a newcomer and having no driving history in Canada or the US, that worked against me. So on that point, we're going to start talking about rating factors. And I'll hand over to Chrystal again.
All right, so the top 5 rating factors I say would be your age. 25 and under, you're just going to be rated high. As an occasional driver, maybe a principal driver, just your age, you will be rated high. Your gender, male, female, they do get rated differently. Your postal code is a big one. Differs from city to city, street to street. Sidewalk to sidewalk, it doesn't matter. Your vehicle rating groups is another factor that does take into effect with your premiums. And then I would say the last one would be your vehicle coverages, depending on the age of your vehicle, how fully covered you want it. You may only just want minimum coverage. That will affect your premiums as well.
Yeah. And when Chrystal mentioned postal codes, I wanted to just highlight something quickly. One, when we say postal codes, there are places like
Brampton.
That is ridiculous. Your insurance premium is going to be ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying that if you live in Brampton or you're moving to Brampton that you should put that you live in Bradford or that you live in
Oakville.
Yeah, or somewhere to get your insurance premium pretty low, because then that's misrepresentation. And if you're caught, which happens to some people, dog nyam your supper. Plain and straight. Moving on.
Just a quick PSA here, guys. If you've not already purchased a copy of my book, Packing Up and Moving to Canada 101, please run on over to Amazon and grab yourself either the paperback or the Kindle version. You will not regret it. Support, support, support.
So another thing I wanted to touch on too is surcharges. Because imagine the fact that your insurance premium is really high as a newcomer, and then you have, let's say, a ticket. Come on, someone will come do road. So you have tickets on your policy, or you have at-fault accidents. You have to be really careful. Then what we have in insurance is a surcharge that's applied, and I'll have the guru talk about that, right? In terms of surcharges and what that does for people's policies and how it affects you, not just for that year, but subsequent years.
All right. So the two main surcharges most insurance companies will have are conviction surcharges, so speeding tickets, disobeying like signs, roads, anything, those kind of tickets you have a surcharge for. And then you have your claims, at-fault claims, there is a surcharge. For convictions, that surcharge for our company at least is 17.5% for the full year.
For one.
Yeah, that's one conviction. You could have multiple. And then for claims, you don't normally get charged a surcharge rate on your first at-fault claim, but your driving record does get affected, so your premiums will increase. But come your second claim, we do start to charge 30% of a surcharge on your policy.
But I thought, and bear with me people, because I'm not working frontline at the moment, so I don't know everything. And even so, when Chrystal was my go-to. She's like a top mentor and everything in the company. She's worked with like the top insurance companies in Canada. So when I or somebody, right? But I thought that with claims, you start being affected from that first claim if you're at fault. No?
Like midterm?
Oh, not midterm, like at renewal.
So for your renewal, your policy will be affected,
Okay.
but it will not necessarily be the claim that did affect it. It's more so your driving record. So if you've gone 5 years without a claim, you have 5 years of driving experience. With that first claim for us, that brings your driving experience back to 0. So that's what will start to affect your policy, because now you'll be kind of rated as a newer driver, less experienced.
Okay, gotcha. So something I need to say though is that, and I don't think we mentioned it before, which is the perfect time to just drop it in then, is the fact that most insurance companies don't count driving experience from outside of Canada. So don't come like some people who will say they have 20 years driving experience. Okay, but you don't have 20 years of driving experience in Canada. That's the people in policy. Just work with it. You do have some insurance companies. I won't necessarily call any names, just like I haven't told you where Chrystal has worked. I won't tell you where I work. I think I have told persons where I work. But anyways, there is one company I know who they do count driving experience outside of Canada. But then I think their rate is a little higher anyway, because it still worked out to be a little bit more than what I'm paying now when they quoted me. So I don't know. But generally speaking, it's experience inside Canada or inside the US that will count. So bear that in mind. So my insurance has since gone down. Hello? My insurance has since gone down. And that's another thing too, in terms of your insurance. If you have a more advanced license, then it will help you out somewhat, just like if you have, significant driving experience, as the years go by without, accidents and tickets and stuff. You should find that the premium would be positively impacted. So anyway, my premium stood at $3,185. Don't be thinking this is high. Remember, I told you that I work with the company, and I think my discount, because I'm staff, is about how much? I think it's like how much percent?
Honestly, could be 15, could be 20%. I have no clue, to be quite honest.
Yeah, because it lists my discounts. I have a discount for like having snow tires. Some people lie about that. Don't lie about that. I have a discount for having multiple products, because I do have home insurance for my condo unit, which I'm renting. So let's say your premium is $3,185 and you have, let's just say one surcharge. What are we looking at for the year?
So it's the $3,185 plus the 17.5%?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's kind of see.
Okay.
Although, let's say it was one ticket and one at-fault accident. Because let me tell you this, a lot of persons do not understand that single vehicle collisions are also considered at fault. Sometimes if you're in like a parking lot and someone's driving out from their spot, you're going and one hits the other, it's not to say that the other one is at fault. Both persons are going to be seen as at fault. So you could very easily be in an at-fault accident. During the winter time, you could, slip on black ice, which you can't really predict something like that. So let's say you had an at-fault accident, you have one surcharge for perhaps some kind of ticket that you got, some speeding ticket. How much are we looking at for that person's premium for the year?
So if we're going off of the $31.85 with the ticket and let's just say an at-fault, you could be looking at around $3,700. It could be a little bit more. Now it's hard to say with that first at-fault accident because remember I said in the beginning, there's no real surcharge for it. It's just your driving record is affected. So let's just say your premium could be around $3,800 for that one ticket and one at-fault claim. So we don't want that. And sorry, I think
you're going to say the same thing.
These things stay on your record.
That's what I was going to.
Perfect. Tickets stay on your records for 3 years.
Yeah.
And at-fault claims stay on your record for 6 years. So be careful of that.
I was just going to say that because I'm like, okay, so you're thinking probably, okay, that's not too bad. It's just, about $600 extra. That's a lot of money. So anyways, at least you have an idea as to, what happens. It's not like in Jamaica, for instance, when somebody could have like 10 tickets and you're good. No. And I don't even think if you have tickets that you can go and renew your vehicle permit, which is what in Jamaica we call like your vehicle registration. You can't just go and renew and be driving. Like, no.
You have to pay for those tickets or they will not give you your license or registration.
Period. Did I say it right? Like, period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on to what I hope will be our last topic, because I'm trying to keep this short and sweet, is coverages / endorsement. So talk to us. What do we need to have on our vehicles, as well as, what do we need to have on our vehicles?
Okay. So obviously there's 2 types. We have our full coverage and just what we call third-party liability. So with full coverage, if we're looking for a full coverage vehicle, you will obviously have your liability. That's the mandatory coverage in every policy. But then you're going to have your collision, which will cover you for an at-fault claim, which usually has a deductible anywhere from $300 to $1,000 and up. Obviously, people will go a little higher to save on premium. Then you have your comprehensive, which covers you for fire, theft, vandalism, windshield claims. Again, that has a deductible, $3 to however high you want to put it to save on your premium. You have your loss of use, which is if you are to be an eligible claim, a rental vehicle is provided to you. If your vehicle is being fixed in the auto body shop, what have you. If it's a brand new vehicle, we have what we call in insurance terms OPCF 43, in English wording, limited waiver of depreciation. So if your vehicle's brand new, something happens to it, total loss, we will either reimburse you the suggested list price, the manufacturer's price, or however much you did pay for it. Another coverage you can have is what we call OPCF 27, which that is the usage for non-owned vehicles. So let's just say you're traveling within Canada and the US is where it's covered. You don't want to use your vehicle, you want to rent a vehicle. Your policy actually will extend to that rental vehicle, so you don't have to buy the renter's insurance because usually that is a bit higher. Or I know some people's credit cards do have this coverage on it, but if you don't, there is an option to get it on a policy. That would probably be like your full coverage. Obviously, there's other endorsements that we can talk about if you need to know them. You can let us know at the end. I'm not gonna.
Why am I asking myself now why I have OPCF 27? I do have OPCF 27 on my vehicle, but my credit card, because I remember before I even bought a car, I was using the insurance on my credit card when I was getting rental vehicles.
This is another thing.
Okay.
Us representatives, we're gonna sell you a full coverage car. You need to be a little bit wise and smart to know, okay, I may not know everything about insurance, but what do I really need?
Yeah.
If you need OPCF 27, get it. If you don't need it, you can say no. We can't just put it on your policy and give it to you. So that's something you need to be aware of. Know what you need, know what you want, and be okay to say you know, I don't need that coverage, because these small things can actually save on premium.
And so even though she is telling you to know what you need and don't take what you don't need, also don't try to be too cheap, right? I think that's also something that we have to grapple with. You know, like even for me, talking to friends who don't work in insurance, not having a full appreciation for what can happen, and then just wanting the bare minimum. Just be sensible. You know what you need. The rep will tell you, you know, what other benefits you can get, and just don't try to be too stingy either. But just to kind of share some of what I have, so you kind of see, because for me, I have a full understanding of insurance, and yet this is what I took. I have a couple of things, like one for my discounts. I did mention my multi-product discount, my staff discount, my snow tire discount, and then there was another discount that I don't want to call its name, partly because it has since been discontinued. No, I do have liability coverage, and I took 2 million. That's another thing. Persons tend to want 1 million in coverage because they think that's sufficient. Canada is very expensive. If there's a lawsuit, by any means, it's not going to be $1 million if you have to have some kind of payout. It's going to be more. So the standard that we recommend to, you know, clients is 2 mil. So I have 2 mil. How much do you have on yours?
I have 1 million.
How are this? Goody. You know what? I'm going to leave this here. So I don't know how long we've been going. I hope we've covered enough for you. As I said, if we haven't covered everything and you want to ask additional questions, we don't bite. Reach out to me in the comment section below, or shoot me a message on my Instagram page, Moving to Canada 101, and I'll respond to you ASAP and let you know. Now, before I go, I'll just have Chrystal tell you a little bit about her business. And of course, you know, it says support. We say support her by purchasing some of her items. She's located in the GTA. But I don't know if she's doing international soon or not. So I'll just let her talk to you.
So yeah, I do have my own little small business, we'll say. It's called Vintage Nouveau. It's by Vintage Nouveau on Instagram. I'm sure Nathalie will either put it up somewhere down in the description box, wherever you can check it out. All handmade goods. I make them myself. One of a kind custom pieces. You can check me out. Website is coming soon.
Hey.
But the Instagram page is there. Still have to upload. Kind of slacking on that. But yeah, if anyone's looking for any gifts for themselves.
And Christmas is coming up. Yeah, we can do something.
Yeah.
We can do something. Christmas is coming up.
Check me out.
Check her out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Lots more to come. See you next time. Bye.